Hello, music lovers. Thank you so much for dropping by the channel. Let's talk about Blue Oyster Cult, all right? I mean, look, everybody's talking about them, right? Actually, I'm not too far off. What even brings this up is a video that I made recently for a band called Ghost. And whenever people talk about Ghost and try to describe, what they sound like, Blue Oyster Cult often comes up as like, yeah, they're a mix between Black Sabbath and Blue Oyster Cult. And it kind of got me thinking about BOC. What is it about BOC that makes people, throw their name in with a band like Ghost? And the whole thing is because Ghost has this surprisingly melodic side, and BOC, it has a very melodic side too. These are the guys that did like Don't Fear the Reaper and Burnin' for You, and they've got a lot of other great songs, and it kind of got me thinking about BOC more. And I'm a fan of theirs more so in the 80s and 90s than I am for their 70s stuff. Now, I'm not saying I don't like the 70s stuff, but maybe it's because I grew up with them in the 80s and 90s, and so I tend to like that stuff more. But I do find that their 80s and 90s stuff is much more melodic, and I think it was also better produced. I think that the stuff from the 70s, somebody needs to go back and remix that stuff and really kind of bring it to life. And it got me thinking about 5 songs from the 80s and 90s period of Blue Oyster Cult that I think are must-hears. Like, these are 5 songs that you got to check out if you have not heard them. I think they're equal to or better than any of the songs that you've already heard, like Don't Fear the Reaper and Burnin' for You and Godzilla and whatever else that you've heard. I think that BOC is one of the most misunderstood and underrated bands out there. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I don't think they're ever going to get in. I mean, I don't think anybody takes them serious enough. I mean, if you want to know what the image is of a band like BOC, look at the Saturday Night Live episode with the cowbell. I got a fever and I need more cowbell, all right? That was BOC, and look at how they were dressed and depicted and everything. And I think people tend to think of BOC as this old hippie rock band from the 70s who sing about the devil, some stupid shit like that. But there's so much more to them. Their lyrics are, they had a lot of outside writers, fantasy writers, and so their lyrics are very tongue-in-cheek, dark kind of humor. The playing is phenomenal, especially the guitarist, Buck Dharma, who actually is a singer too, and I love his voice. He's the one that sang Don't Fear the Reaper and Burnin' for You. And he's an amazing guitar player. If you want to talk about like Richie Blackmore and you want to talk about Jeff Beck, you got to talk about Buck Dharma. Yeah, he's that good. Let me just get to these 5 songs here that you should check out. I've got a playlist. Link to it is down below. Check the description and the comments. I'm going to have it pinned down there. These are 5 songs from their 80s and 90s period that I think you should listen to. Okay, number 5 is a song called Take Me Away. It's from their Revolution by Night album. Came out in 1983. And it's a song that's sung by Eric Bloom. He's the one that also sang Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll. And he co-wrote the song with Aldo Nova. Remember him from the 80s? He had this song called Fantasy. I don't know how popular it was, but it's one of these songs that is gone. Like, nobody ever plays it. Whenever you hear any 80s radio stations or anything like that, the song never gets out there. But it was a pretty cool little song. And Take Me Away is a very guitar-oriented FM rock song. It's about aliens visiting and wanting to go with them, and it's a really cool song. Number 4 is a track from their 1985 album Club Ninja called Perfect Water, and this is a song that Buck Dharma sings, and his playing on it is just phenomenal. The song kind of starts off like, very smooth, kind of like water running, and then all of a sudden it just takes off and it builds, and it's just got a great guitar tone to it. Number 3 on the list is a song called Shooting Shark. And that's from the album Revolution by Night, which also had Take Me Away. Shooting Shark is very 80s. It's very, very 80s. I mean, it's got a lot of keyboards in it, prominent bass, played by none other than Randy Jackson. Remember him? Come on, dog. He's from American Idol. He was one of the judges. And he also played with Journey on the Raised on Radio album, played on tour with them, and he does some really good work on this song. It's a song sung by Buck Dharma, and it's really, really cool. The melodies in there, really, really good stuff. Okay, now at number 2 and number 1 on my list of the top 5 underrated must-hear Blue Oyster Cult songs is from an album called Heaven Forbid. This is an album that came out in 1998, and when it first came out, I was like, man, what is BOC going to do in 1998? I was shocked. The album is very strong. It's one of my favorite BOC albums, and I think it's got some of their strongest material. Number 2 on the list is a song called Live For Me. It's a Buck Dharma song. Lyrically, it's very, very powerful. And musically, it's just, his tone is amazing. The playing, the solos, you know, just beautiful stuff here. And number 1 is a song called Harvest Moon, which is a song that BOC was playing live for many, many years. They finally put it down on this album, and I have to tell you, I think that Harvest Moon might be their best song ever, if not very, very close to it. This has got to be one of their best ever songs. I remember when I was in radio, I played it because BOC was doing a show that evening, and so I played it to kind of get people whipped up for the show, and after it was over, the phones lit up and people were like, what the hell was that? That sounds great, you know. And I just remember thinking, yeah, I'm glad that people can hear what I'm hearing, that it just got such good melodies. The guitar playing, the tone, once again, Buck Dharma hits it out of the park. There's a really cool jam in the song where he's just blowing all around. I mean, these songs you should check out. It's easy to do it. Just click the link below to get to this playlist. Take Me Away, Perfect Water, Shooting Shark, Live For Me, and Harvest Moon. My picks for 5 underrated BOC songs that you should check out. And this is the reason why people are talking about them and throwing around the name Ghost, is because of the melodies and because of the guitar solos too. You know, when I was listening to that new song Rats by Ghost, there's a guitar solo in there. After the layered part that sounds like Queen, in comes this solo. You know, it sounds like it could have been Buck Dharma doing that solo. So anyway, check these songs out. Let me know if you've ever heard of any of these. Let me know if you've got any songs that you want to add to the list. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Hit subscribe, and I will talk to you later.